Is it really necessary? No. Am I gonna do it anyway? Yes. Hey everyone, my name is Nico, and in this channel I talk about how to improve your studying skills and mindset so you can learn languages more effectively. So, I've been thinking for a while what language I wanted to start practicing again, since I started about 7 languages, and besides English, I don't know any of them to full fluency. So, I decided we're gonna start changing that this year. And we're gonna start with French. So I've decided to set myself up for a 3 month preparation, or I'm gonna call it a challenge just to be cute. But for 3 months, I'm essentially going to be preparing for the DALF C1 exam. Now, if you don't know what DALF is, it's one of the two language exams that are recognized worldwide and they are valid for life, so you never have to take them again. The reason why there are two separate exams is because one of them is for beginner to intermediate level. So for beginner, A1, A2. For intermediate, it's B1, B2. And that's for DELF, which is the Diplôme d'études en langue française. And then for advanced learners, which is C1, C2, that's DALF, which is Diplôme approfondi de langue française. And it's really great because you just take the test and you're good to go. And generally, people who take these exams, it's going to be for one of three reasons. The first one is to enter university. So, if you want to go into a university in a French speaking country, generally you'll need B2. But if the type of study is more advanced, like medicine or law, you would generally need a C1. Another reason is for jobs. So, if you find a job that you want to do in a French speaking country or that it requires French, getting a diploma will help you, especially if you're into translating. The other reason, which is the category I fall in, is personal enjoyment, because why not? So I am taking on this task, this labor of love, and seeing how far I can push myself and explore the French speaking world once again through dedicated study. Now, why am I choosing French? Why am I choosing to do this exam when I really have no need for it? Well, I saw many language learning influencers, studying, putting in the work, and it motivated me to want to do the same. Another reason is because I got tired of saying that I studied 7 languages and I can't really speak any of them to full fluency except for English. So, like for Spanish and French, those are my top 2 languages that I can speak most comfortably in. But I don't want to stay in that like plateau, in that intermediate zone of I can understand and I can speak, but I have to check everything that I type or that I write. And I just want to get to that point where I can do things, whether it's speaking or writing, and not have to second guess myself. That's a really big reason as to why I'm doing this. And I chose the French language because I already teach beginner French for university students, and I work with a French family. I tutor their kids, and so being able to use French to explain English grammar or vocabulary words is very useful. I also miss engaging with French media, and not really shows. I don't think a lot of French shows are interesting, or they're just not my type. But there are some that I am curious to get back into. But French memes are also, they're really funny. And so I want to spend time looking at those and just, dive into guilty pleasures because technically it's studying. So, and another reason is that I really love literature. I love reading. And I bought a few books when I was in France a few years ago, and I never gave myself the time to read them because I was like, oh, I want to do Spanish now, or I want to do Portuguese now, or I want to do Korean now. And so I got them, and they've been on my shelf for many years, and it's time I pay them the respects that they deserve. So we have Le Chant d'Achille, which is the Song of Achilles. I'm really looking forward to reading this one. And then we have Circe, Circe, yeah, that's how we're going to pronounce it, which is the Book of Circes, by same author, Madeline Miller. And then we have Diable, which is an art book. And I don't know, when I first found this book, it was just the cover really stood out to me, and I'm curious as to what it's about. Obviously, it's art and about how the devil appears in different art pieces, but I'm curious about how they explain it. And then we have this other book. It's called Histoire du fantôme du Japon. And it's another art book with ghost stories from Japan. And it's very beautiful. I started reading it, but I didn't finish. And this is just like some examples of the artwork. It's really 10 out of 10. And I have another one, but I left it in France. So we're going to get that this summer. I also have some books of grammar to prepare for DALF. So this is one of them. I also have Edito. And so that's what we're going to use book-wise to prepare. When it comes to reading, it's not necessary to understand every word. What matters the most is that you have an overall understanding of what the main idea is, what are the concepts that they're sharing with you. And so that's going to be one of my goals when it comes to practicing reading. Regarding the details of this challenge, again, it's not really a challenge. I'm just saying that because I don't know what else to call it. But it's going to be broken up in the following way. So every day I'm going to study for 2 hours. It's summer, I have the time. And in the first hour, it's going to be dedicated to DALF. And in the second hour, it's going to be dedicated to anything that catches my attention that day. So whether it's watching a series or a movie, reading a book or an article, journaling, speaking to an italki tutor, any of that is going to be fair game. I will also be posting bi-weekly updates, and that includes me speaking. And part of me really doesn't want to do this, but guess what? We push ourselves. We expand our comfort zone. We get out of the comfort zone and we expand it so that way we can be more comfortable doing different things. And my hope is that if I do this, if I put myself on the front lines, then that will inspire other people to do the same, especially for introverts. I know it's easier to listen. I know it's easier to just read, but if you don't practice output, you're not going to be doing much, especially when it comes to communication. Like someone will give you a compliment and you might not know what to say, or someone's asking you about your opinion on something and it's going to be difficult to get your words, even though it might be easier writing because you have more time to think. Those on the spot moments, they matter just as much. So in these bi-weekly updates, I will also be talking about the different studying techniques that I'm using, what's working, what's not. And also I'm going to be focusing on the 4 skills, which is reading, writing, listening, and speaking. And I'm going to be separating them throughout the week. So the goal is that I will be doing in one day, both input and output. So for example, on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I will be doing reading for input and speaking as output. Then Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, I will be doing listening as input and writing as output. And then on Sunday, it's going to be more of a chill, relaxed day, and I will still study, but I won't be like taking notes. So for example, if I'm watching a movie, I won't write down the words that I don't know. Or if I'm reading an article, I won't summarize it out loud. Now, I'm also doing this challenge because I rely heavily on external accountability. So for basically all of the languages I've studied, they've been somehow in a classroom setting, whether it was online or in person. And I always had that professor telling me, Tuesday's a test, or next Friday is a speaking interview, all that good stuff. And I was like, oh wow, I have a deadline. I need to prepare for it. And I respected that deadline because it was coming from an external force. And I for a year, yeah, like after I graduated university, I told myself, no, I don't need to prepare for a test. I don't need to learn with a professor. I got this, be good. But no, that entire year I didn't do anything. I did squat. So I'm hoping that this will be a form of accountability. So I can't embarrass myself, to be honest. It's really about that. I don't want to embarrass myself. So I'm going to update my progress here and show progress. So now I'm going to show you my current level. And as an introvert, this is taking a lot of guts, but I'm doing this for me, for you, for us. for the future. That's so dramatic. Oh my god. So to give you context, I already took a French exam. It's called TCF, or Test de connaissance du français, and I did this in 2022. And this test is only valid for 2 years, and I never renewed it because I didn't need to. Most of my level is in B2, except for one of the writings was in C1. All right, let's do this. Bonjour ou bonsoir, je m'appelle Nico, j'ai 25 ans, j'ai étudié 7 langues. J'ai commencé avec l'anglais et l'espagnol. Au lycée, j'ai étudié l'italien. Dans l'université, j'ai étudié le coréen et le français. Et après, j'ai étudié le japonais et le portugais. J'ai voulu apprendre le français parce que dans l'université, j'ai eu un voyage en France. Ce voyage, c'était incroyable, mais aussi inconfortable parce que c'était la première fois que j'étais dans un pays où je ne pouvais pas parler avec les autres parce que je ne comprenais pas la langue. Donc, ça m'a inspiré à apprendre le français. So if you would like to join me for the next 3 months learning French or another language, you're more than welcome to do so. I invite you with open arms. And let me know what language you're studying, what studying techniques you're using, if you're also studying for an exam, so we can cheer each other on. Alright, so today's affirmation is all good things come to me. Ou toutes les bonnes choses viennent à moi. So once again, all good things come to me. Ou toutes les bonnes choses viennent à moi. Alright, my love, you got this. I believe in you. I love you. And c'est parti, mes amis. Ciao!